There's already a mosque near the World Trade Center, and now we have to wonder this, if the people who are against the proposed Islamic Center know about it. We're going to ask one of them. Tim Brown is a retired New York City firefighter who survived September 11th. He is also one of the plaintiffs in the lawsuit against the city's Landmark Preservation Commission, the group that made the way for the center and mosque to be built. We also have Eboo Patel. He is a Muslim and an executive director of the Interfaith Youth Corps out of Chicago. So thanks to both of you for joining me tonight. Mr. Brown, I'm going to start with you. Did you know there was another mosque near the World Trade Center, and does this change your opinion at all in this issue?
Yes, we've known for quite a while there was another mosque there. That mosque is actually, if you look on their website, they have disavowed themselves of any relation or association with Imam Rauf's group. And we don't have a problem with them. Imam Rauf is not the person he portrays himself to be. He has said publicly that he wants to leverage 9/11 for his own advantage.
Well,
to build
just to
a
explain to our viewers,
two
two
blocks away.
Imam Rauf Faisal Abdul Rauf is the imam who's behind the mosque, who wants to build this mosque near Ground Zero. He was also, they said, he was going to be sent overseas to try to bridge relationships between Muslims and Americans, and many people are against that. So I understand that you're concerned about that. Let me ask you this. I was going to go here later, but I'll do it now. If Imam Rauf was not involved in this situation, would you feel differently about it? Would you support this mosque?
Well, probably not. You know, our issue with it is that this building is being built on the cemetery of our loved ones. I lost 93 of my friends. This building was actually impacted directly by the landing gear of one of the hijacked planes that was slammed into the tower by radical Muslim terrorists.
Let me ask you, what did you think of the president's comments on Friday?
Well, I think he misses the point. I mean, they're trying to couch this as a religious freedom and trying to portray us as bigots, and nothing could be further from the truth. The families, what happened to the sensitivity going from the Muslim world to the families? That's been brushed aside, and we're supposed to be sensitive to the Muslim world on this.
Okay.
It's upside down.
All right. Mr. Patel, how did you view the president's comments on Friday?
You know, we expect our leaders in America to stand up for our highest principles. And one of the highest principles of America is that we're a nation of people from different backgrounds living in equal dignity and mutual loyalty. Presidents from Washington and Jefferson to Clinton and Bush have stood up for that. President Obama stood up for that as well, and I applaud him for that.
Okay, so as a Muslim, are you afraid that if the Islamic Center moves forward that there will be a backlash against Muslims?
No, I'm an American, and I'm a Muslim. And the stated purpose of the Cordoba House is to help build unity and cooperation. And that sounds a whole lot like the motto of the United States of America, E pluribus unum, out of many, one.
All right, you know, I understand
and just as if there was a Jewish
hospital
hospital or a Catholic university at this site, I think we ought to welcome a Muslim group who seeks to build the principles of America.
Okay, let me ask you this, Mr. Patel, because I've heard many people say the same thing that you're saying about this. The mayor of New York City says that, you know, it's about religious freedom. He doesn't want anyone telling him where he can put a synagogue, so he doesn't want, you know, he doesn't want to tell people where he can put a mosque. This situation, though, don't you think it's a bit different considering what happened on 9/11? And the people behind this mosque have said that there is a need for it in Lower Manhattan, so that's why it's being built there. What about 10, 20 blocks? What about 10, 20 blocks Midtown Manhattan, and considering the circumstances behind this? That's not understandable to you?
Don, you know, in America, we don't tell people based on their race or ethnicity or religion that they are free in this place, but not in that place.
I understand that, but there's always
context,
Mr. Patel. There's always context.
Sure,
and I don't think anyone is saying anything against religious freedom or the freedom of expression or any of that, but there's always context. This is an extraordinary circumstance, and you understand that it is very heated. Many people lost their loved ones on 9/11. And if this building of a mosque is going to cause a controversy like this, when it's supposed to be building relations between Christians, Jews, Muslims, Americans, it seems to be doing the exact opposite. So just considering the context here, that's what I'm talking about.
Don, I have to tell you, this seems to me a little bit like telling black people 50 years ago, you can sit anywhere on the bus you like, but just not the front.
I understand that. I think it's apples and oranges. I don't think that black people.
George Washington saying,
I don't think that black people were behind a terrorist plot to kill people and drive planes into a building.
That's right.
That's a completely different circumstance.
And American Muslims were not behind the terrorist plot either.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Brown.
The vile terrorists who attacked the United States on 9/11 deserve one name and one name alone, and that is vile terrorists. And the American Muslims who are police officers and firefighters who coach Little League and serve on the PTA deserve another name, an honored name, and that is fellow American.
And I get that. I
Don,
understand.
Let me tell you.
Listen, I think most people get that, and I don't think that we are Americans and we understand that. But as I said, there are always extenuating circumstances and there's always context. And I think people are drawing black and white. Hang on, will you let me finish, please? I think people are drawing a line in the sand here. It's not a black and white issue. There is context behind this. This is an extenuating circumstance. I'm not saying that the mosque should not be put there, but I think that the people who want to put the mosque there should be a little bit more understanding about the people who lost their lives behind this there, and how the people, their loved ones, might feel about a mosque being there. That's all I'm saying. Mr. Brown, go ahead. I know you want to jump in here.
Yeah, you know, there are hundreds of mosques already in New York City. New York City is the greatest melting pot in the world. I was a New York City fireman for 20 years. I never stopped at the front door to ask a race, a creed, a religion, you know, are you gay or are you straight, are you man, are you woman? We never ever did that. If there was a Muslim family in there, we were going in the door and we were saving their lives. Now, we have a problem with the mosque being built on our cemetery. The landing gear went through the roof of that building. That building has never even been checked for human remains of our loved ones. And there are thousands of families that have not recovered one piece of their loved one. Let me tell you a story about a woman named Janet Cassio who lost her son Paul on the 82nd floor. I hope it's short, Mr. Brown, because
we're running out of time. If you can do it quickly.
She went and spoke at the Landmarks Preservation Commission hearing very passionately against the mosque. When she walked out and went to her car, she had a heart attack. This is what is being done to the families of 9/11, and I'm ashamed that people are saying we're not sensitive to the Muslim world.
Okay.
Where is the sensitivity back to us?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brown. And Mr. Patel, I'm not beating up on you. I just wanted to get that point across. I'm going to let you have the last word because I understand, again, it is about religious freedom and it is America. But I think that point has not been brought up enough in this whole controversy here. Go ahead and your final thoughts in your reaction to Mr. Brown.
Right. Let's not connect the vile terrorists of September 11th to mainstream American Muslims who are your neighbors, who in this case want to help build a center based on interfaith unity and cooperation. I think that in the course of American history, people have opposed the religious communities establishing their institutions, whether it's Catholics or Jews or Mormons or Baptists. But in the end, the forces of interfaith unity have always won. And history will record that once again, in the United States, on our sacred ground, the forces of interfaith unity will win.
Mr. Patel, thank you
Eboo,
very
you
much.
will never
Mr.
build
Brown,
that mosque will never be built at Ground Zero.
We appreciate both of you joining us tonight on CNN. Thanks again. And one of R&B's biggest